Morning. Sunday, June 8th. Ugh, 2025. I'm Larissa. Ugh, my horrible video diary. Ugh, my headphones have been breaking my hair. What is up? These little pieces from like. Ugh. So the time's come. Once again. Drink some skulls. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So yesterday we went and got boxes. Some boxes. I'm gonna have to get more for sure. I started packing up the gallery. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so emotionally draining. It is such an emotionally draining thing to be doing. You know, I got about like 10 boxes packed yesterday. Oh, oh my god. And I just like can't wait to get out of there. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. So just keep poking at it. I'm gonna have to get more boxes. Definitely have to get more boxes. Pick some up on tomorrow. Today I'm gonna go get a carpet steamer and go steam the carpet in the new place because it's kind of gross. Ugh. Carpet is not ideal, but it's only carpet. Not the whole thing isn't carpeted, so I go get rent a carpet steamer, clean that shit up. Yeah, that's what I need to do. That's what I'm gonna do today. And that and some laundry. I got the towels started last night. Yeah, after everything. Yeah. Tonight for dinner, I made quinoa and buttered beets and grilled zucchini and summer squash, and tofu. I grilled the tofu, and I plated it up with some avocado. Yeah. Quinoa, I've been cooking it in my rice cooker, and I haven't gotten the exact ratio right just yet. So the quinoa takes more water than the rice does, interestingly enough. Yeah. Anyway, so I just need to figure that out. How much more water do I need to add to the quinoa? I've just been so incredibly tired. And I've been getting some sleep, but it's just, I've just been so fatigued. And it's just, emotional exhaustion. Moving the space once more, and, everything that's going to come with that. At least where I'm moving to, there's less like permit and licensing fees and stuff. Like, I don't need a business license where I'm going and all that shit. And Santa Cruz is so fuckingly over expensive. It cost me almost $700 just to open my doors there. And they were going to charge me another $500 like every year after that. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Paying all that goddamn money, right? And the police won't come out when somebody's pissing on the side of my building, right? Police are a joke. Police are a fucking joke. So the other day, Friday, I called Scotts Valley Fire District because there was like all this smoke out in the air. I went out to play ball with Brody, and it was like burning my eyes. I was all smoking and everything. Like, what the fuck's going on? And then like the whole sky, there was smoke hanging low over the trees. I'm like it's a little too warm. It's not cold enough out for people to be burning their fireplaces, and it didn't smell like that anyway. It smelled like duff. And so I called Scotts Valley Fire District. I was like, oh, maybe they're doing a control burn somewhere. I don't know. And they like gave me some goofball runaround and said, oh, there's no fires reported today. Blah 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 blah. And then he said, well, if you're concerned, call 911. I'm like, and we'll come out and look at it. I'm like, I'm calling you right now. Why do I have to call dispatch when I'm talking to you on the phone right now? Anyway, I did. I called 911 and it was screwy. Anyway, like, oh, I guess we'll go check it out. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, turns out there was a fire. Cal Fire uploaded a video about it. There was a fire. And they're like, nobody else is called. I'm like, really? Nobody else is called? It wasn't clear, like, from the video. I think it was a training. They were doing a training somewhere. And it was like, so it was kind of like a controlled burn. I'm like, why did I have to call dispatch like that if you could have just told me, oh, we're doing a control burn? And I would have been like, oh, okay. Bullshittery, California bullshittery. It totally is. Yeah. The muskmelon Drumpf fiasco continues. My cartoon in the June issue of my magazine is like so fucking accurate. Jeez. Cheese on rice. Cheese on pizza. Goodness gracious. Like, how are Trump supporters, particularly ones that were like super vocal in public, like how are you showing your faces in public these days? I didn't vote for Kamala either. No. And I will not vote for her if she runs for anything out here in California. No, I won't. People forget that there is write-in option, right? You can write in anyone for the write-in option so long as they are born in the United States and are 33 years of age or older. Those are the only two requirements to be president of the United States. So only two requirements that you must meet. You must be 33 or older, and you must have been born in this country. Yeah. All these rich assholes, who voted for Trump and are now like, oh, I hate him. Oh my God. Y'all could have gotten together and picked somebody else. Right? Jeez. All the people in this country, and there's nobody who would have been a better pick than any of the ones that are out there. It's gross. It's all gross. Yeah. Yeah, totally. So, I don't know. Got a bunch of leftover quinoa from last night. I think I'm going to make, like, quinoa pancakes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of it. Mix up some eggs with a little bit of, like, starch of some sort. Tapioca starch or something. Tapioca or potato starch. I got both of those down there. I also have mung bean starch down there. That might work too. Make savory quinoa pancakes, and then serve it with some spinach salad and maybe a fried egg. That sounds good. Be a nice breakfast, huh? Super high protein. Super high protein. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Anyway, anyway. I don't know what the fuck's going on down in LA. Something about the National Guard and everything I saw. Mm. LA's awful. LA is. It's terrible. Every time we've been down there, I've just come back and been disgusted. Omar and I have only been down there together once. I've been down there a total of 3 times. 3 times or just twice? 3 times. And every time I've just been like, ugh, why does anybody live down here? It's just an industry shithole, right? Everybody down there is like, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be famous. I'm in LA. Oh my god. Oh my god. Culture down there is just disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, totally. Ooh, yeah. Anyway. Anyway. Drink my tea. My business. Like all the things I hear people complaining about, you know, the ills of society. The concept of my business is designed to address these things, right? Like these same people that want to complain about all of this shit in our culture and society, they don't want to actually do anything to fix it. I mean, it's like listen, just listening to people complain about themselves. It's like, well, you could change that. It doesn't have to be like that. You could change it. I just want to complain about it, right? So people complain about there not being about. Oh, ugh, I'm so exhausted. I'm so emotionally exhausted right now. It's like it's not even worth talking about it because it's not like it's going to do anything good for me. And you know, concept of my business, the things that I offer. So yeah, it's my workspace, and there are point of sale goods that I offer, and those goods meet certain criteria, right? Like they're obviously locally made because they're made by me, and I use a lot of upcycled, recycled, vintage, and antique materials, so they're more environmentally sustainable, right? Kind of thing. And I source a lot of my materials locally. So it's like it's my business is my physical products, are economic. Oh my gosh, Brody just farted. Brody, you root tutor. Anyway, Brody, he said, it's like that's what I think of your concept. Yeah, so the products themselves are designed to be sustainable. And then the services that I offer, because it's like my goal, I would like to get my work into museums and other galleries where they have a larger audience, right? Um, which, is not necessarily economically sustainable by itself, right? But that's for me, and um, I understand that. So as far as like the business goes, and I offer other services and other events, and it's like, okay, I offer events that are meant to be an option, instead of like going to a movie, right? Funding this arts and entertainment industry that is so predatorial, right? Because it is. The whole industry is very predatorial. And a lot of what they've been putting out for past 20 years has just been getting progressively worse, right? Even like, instead of going to a movie or whatever, or instead of going to a sports event or whatever, because the gambling legislation that was passed a couple years ago, and the price of tickets, and the way that people behave at sports events, and just the whole culture around sports is really gross. It's really exploitive. And I don't watch any sports anymore, um, because I resent the casino being forced into my living room. And I think it's disgusting the way everybody openly talks about, betting on human beings, in particular, people who work in the field. Like, if you're working for a sports franchise, you shouldn't be allowed to gamble. That is morally and ethically corrupt. I mean, I personally think it is morally and ethically corrupt to gamble, to bet on living beings of any kind. Dogs, chickens, people. Like, the whole thing is gross. Now you got to listen to the employees talk about who they're betting on and all this shit. I think it's grotesque. I think it's gross, and I lost respect for a lot of people, listening to them talk about it. Charles Barkley, oh my gosh, the way you talk about your gambling and everything. Um, Festus Ezeli, like this, I walked away from. I mean, pretty much the only thing I was watching anymore was basketball, and so these are basketball people I'm talking about. I totally lost respect, lost respect for the whole organization, and it's just it's a farce, right? It's a farce. And it's all coincided with like the push for women's sports, and so it's like, oh, let's commodify the women too. It's just ugh, ugh. The game isn't fun anymore, and I'm not interested. I think it's cruel. I think it's cruel and exploitive, and I don't want anything to do with it. So the events and things that I design for my business are meant to be an ethical counterpoint to such kind of entertainment, things that you would do with friends or on a date, right? Right? Something else, another option, something different. Um, Same thing with like my offer, the package for private shopping. You know, this is designed private shopping with dinner. It's, set a movie and a dinner or whatever. It's do something different. Come see art, even if you don't buy the art, right? There's ticket price to come in with your small party or date or whatever, and have see some media, some artwork, and have conversation about it, and then be able to go have a nice meal. The other thing with the events that I offer, they're sober events, right? Not because I don't partake. Lord knows. I like me an adult beverage, and I'm a cannabis consumer, but not everything has to revolve around substance. And so much of what is marketed to people as a way of interacting with each other, promotes unhealthy um, or gratuitous consumption of substance, whether that substance is junk food, like when you go to the boardwalk. I mean, I love the boardwalk games and everything are fun, but food options are not healthy. Um, or, going to the bar to drink or whatever. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my goodness, ugly sneeze face. Right? Everything is like, revolves around that. And so I think there needs to be option for something other than, right? Because not everybody wants to do those things. Not everybody can do those things, right? So I believe that those options should exist for those types of activities that are also not religious, right? Like not pushing religion or ideology of any kind on you, right? Something, for lack of a better word, wholesome, um, which doesn't mean that, my art isn't controversial, but it's an activity that you can do that um, you don't have to be you don't have to have some sort of special degree or have special knowledge in order to appreciate and experience art. Um, Anybody can do it, right? And at the same time, you don't have to have somebody thumping a Bible or a Quran or a Torah or whatever at you, right? Like, so these are the concepts that are behind the design of my business. And no, my business isn't popular, right? But this is what I'm saying, like people complaining about all of the ills of society, about, oh, they're pushing this, they're pushing that, they want, violence erupts, at such and such event, and I'm trying to offer something. It's like, okay, well, here's another option, right? Yeah. But people don't want other options. They just want to indulge themselves and then bitch and moan, right? Anyway, that's why I do what I do, because I believe in it, whether it's popular or not. I try to offer something that um, I don't feel morally or ethically compromised by. I try to live within my morals, ethics, and values, which does not make me a popular person and does not make my work popular. Um, I do have a lot of my work stolen, though, right? Knocked off, right? But they take aesthetic, they take aesthetic um, without taking the substance or the context or the concept, and so it's not the same thing. It's like when I had some garments that I made for specifically for travel and for dance. They weren't costumes. They were garments that I made for me for practice, and they were made out of recycled materials. And they were kind of funky shaped because I was using these recycled materials, trying to use as much of them as I could without with having as little waste as possible. This Chinese company, Dream Skull, I had one of the garments stolen out of my suitcase when I flew back to Detroit for my college professor, Gilda Snowden's um, funeral. They stole this garment that I made. And I had specifically packed it to travel home on the plane in because they were comfortable. Um, And they stole that garment and put somebody's tiny little bra, it was this tiny little bra, in a plastic bag. That's how I know, like, it was stolen, like, 'cause they left something. They're like, "Oh, we took something, but here's something for you." And I got these giant tits, like, this tiny little A-cup bra. It was ridiculous. It was lavender and padded. It was gross. I was like, "Whose fucking used ass bra is this?" 'Cause it wasn't even new. It was somebody's used fucking bra. Anyway, after that, the this company, Dream Skull, produced a garment, a series of garments that were basically my garment, but they weren't using recycled materials, right? They were using all new materials. So it lost it was just this weird shaped garment, right? This oddly shaped garment made out of new materials. I bought a couple of them. When I saw them, when I came across them, I'm like, "Oh my God." Because it was shortly after that, and they came up in my Amazon feed. I was like, "Look at this." Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I've had all kinds of shit stolen. I've had all kinds of shit stolen. Mhm. And I don't do that shit, right? Like, I continue to do my work with integrity. That's part of my duty as a Reiki master, you know? The Reiki ideals, it's a difficult standard to live up to, but it's concise, and nobody's successful all the time at it. Just for today, I will not anger, I will not worry, I will be kind to all beings. Wait, do my work with integrity. Um, Having brain fart. Just for today, I will not anger, I will not worry. I'll do my work with integrity. I'll be kind to all beings. What is the last one? I will not anger, I will not worry. I'll be kind to all beings. Do my work with integrity. And what is the fifth one? Oh my God. Oh my God. Ugh. Why am I having this brain fart? I'm having a huge brain fart. I say this to myself every day. I say these things to myself. Remember, Larissa, just for today. And be filled with gratitude. That's the last one. That's the last one. It's like the most important one too. It's like, how could I forget that? Like the thing. So it's like, you don't reach all of those things every day, but you try, and that's what your goal is. So, like every day I try to remind myself to be grateful that I can still walk at all, particularly on the days when I hurt really bad and I start to feel angry when I have to pick up my cane, right? Like I just remind myself, Larissa, just be grateful you can still walk at all, right? Um, and kindness does not always mean being nice, right? Kindness does not mean being nice. Kindness means being loving and doing what's right. Does not always mean being nice, right? Anyway, everything that I do within my business, with my business and my work, is based on those ideals, right? Right action. That's what the Buddhists call right action. Right action is not always the easy action. Most frequently, it's the most difficult thing to do. Life isn't easy. Life isn't easy. Anyway, packing those boxes yesterday, we stopped when I started hurting Sal. I said, don't worry. I said, need to be able, because he has stuff he has to do today here, take care of chickens and stuff. He can't help me steam that rug. I have to go be able to do that on my own. So I said, oh, we need to stop for today so I'm able to do that tomorrow. So that's my plan today. I need to go steam that rug and do some laundry. That's the plan, man. That's the plan. Yeah.